All right, hello everyone. I'm Johnny. This is Comics Altruism with a live stream announcing my 250 subscriber contest, which is it just so happened that I hit 250 like 10 minutes before I started broadcasting. So that's cool. So I'm going to explain that first so that people watching in the replay aren't going to have to watch like a 15-minute video just to get the contest details, because we know that's why you're here. I just got to get this comment section up. All right, we had Peanut Butter 524 here at 8:30. Not sure if he's still in the chat or not, but thank you for showing up, Peanut Butter 524. No, I think he's gone. Anyway, so the contest is called Comic Movie Madness Contest. And there's a reason for the madness part. It's because when I first got this idea, I kind of went mad with the power that I gave myself, like the power I'm about to give you too, because you're going to produce a movie, obviously completely in your imagination, that you would want to see in real life. And I'm giving you the power to transcend space and time. So like if you want to see a remake of the recent Joker movie, but you want to see Robert De Niro circa Taxi Driver playing playing Joker, but you also want to see him still playing the talk show host guy, you can make that happen. Or if you want to tell James Gunn, hey, you're going to go back in time to 1975 to remake Guardians of the Galaxy with shitty special effects, you can make him do that because you have unlimited funds as well. So when he's like, I'm not going to do that, then you say, I'll pay you $180 trillion to go back in time and make this happen. And I'll have you back before dinner. So there's your instructions. Just come up with, be as creative and as elaborate as you want. You can come up with a full cast of characters, who you'd want to write it, who you'd want to do the score, who you'd want to, did I say direct it already? Maybe if you want co-producers, you could pick somebody like Steven Spielberg to help you out, or you could do all of the stuff yourself. You could be all the different characters if you want. If you're like the Tommy Wiseau type, feel free. So, sorry, give me a second here. So the only stipulations are that you have to be subscribed to me, you have to like the video, and then you have to either link your video or at least tell me that you've made one in the comments section of this video, I'm guessing. Or you could even message me on Instagram, because everybody's been having trouble lately with the YouTube just deleting comments or making them invisible. So yeah, those are the rules. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, so I guess I'll just show you the prizes that I got. So what we're going to do is we're going to have two winners, and we're going to make it kind of like I did with the pick 3, where the first person to win is going to pick what they want first, and then whatever's left over is what the second place person gets, because I already know that I'm going to have enough entries to necessitate 2 prizes, just like I did last time. So in no specific order, actually I'll show this first, because this is going to the first prize person regardless. That's the Killing Joke Deluxe Hardcover edition. And that's pretty awesome. It's still in its original wrapper. I didn't pay cover price, but it's not a cheap book. So that's going to the first place winner regardless. And then they get to pick 4 out of the 8 of these books. And I know what you might be thinking, like 4 books is my prize. But it's also because I'm going to be catering to whatever you want as the rest of your prize. So if you make a Daredevil movie, I'll pick some Daredevil books out of my personal collection and I'll add that to your box. So it'll be more about like list value than it will be about how many books you get. So if your movie's about Daredevil, I might give you one of my 12 centers and one of my 25 centers, if that makes sense. Or if you're like a Batman movie or something, because I've got a huge surplus of Batman books, I might just give you a nice big stack. So we'll just have to improvise that after I do my draw. Oh, there we go. It's going till December 6th. So I wanted to do 1 month, but I figured Metarog won't be announcing this until Thursday, November 7th, whatever next Thursday is. So we're going to make it a month from that day, which is December 6th. And then I'll be drawing it on hopefully the 7th, but either way, the cutoff will be December 6th at midnight. Okay, so here are the prizes that you have to choose from. We've got Detective Comics 585. That's the first rat catcher. That's in a bubble at the moment. Some of these are I picked just because they are currently worth a lot of money. 2001: A Space Odyssey, number 8. And that's in immaculate condition too, by the way. So I was pretty jazzed when I found that. That's the first appearance of Machine Man. We've got Elf, number 1. Can't deny how awesome that is. This one's a little strange because I think it's rare. It's Avengers 196, the Toy Biz reprint. So that's the one where you had to buy the Marvel toy of Taskmaster to get this comic. So if you look at the Comic Book Realm list price at near mint 9.4, it's only listed as $8. But if you go on eBay and you look at sold items, you see 1. So I'm pretty sure it's a rarity, and it's just because it was a free comic that came with a toy. That's why it's got the list price of $8. So if you want a Taskmaster first appearance, that's your chance, because most of us can't afford the original. We got Dazzler, number 1. We've got Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, number 1. That's another one that's in a bubble. I took a look at eBay previously sold items, and it's like $30-40 at the moment. Oh, I did not say hello to Genome Presents and Grayman. Thank you both for stopping by. Who's Gordon Shumway? Genome. I wasn't actually expecting anybody to stop in because Bueller's got an auction going on with 115 people viewing at the moment. So anyway, next one, New Mutants Elf. Okay, got it. New Mutants number 1, and the last one is New Mutants 26. All right, so those are your prize options. If you win, pick 4 of those, plus you get the Killing Joke hardcover. And then the second place winner will get the last 4. Plus, you both get whatever books I happen to choose to bulk up your box or your prize with whatever you've chosen to make a movie about. Hey, Fish and Freaks, sorry about all the confusion with your contest there. Anybody watching this who's not subscribed, like watching this in the replay, who's not subscribed to Fish and Freaks, go and do that. Cool dude. And just because I showed off that New Mutants 26, I want to show off the other books that I got in the eBay haul from that New Mutants 26. So here's this, New Mutants 26. And here's this, New Mutants 26. So that's why I'm giving one away. One of them is going to go for charity sales, and the other one's for me. Because I actually gave my personal copy to Josh R. Comics and Gaming for his contribution in this previous month's charity purchases. And then this, which I thought I'm never going to get this, Strange Tales 181. That's the first full appearance of Gamora. And you would not believe the price I paid for these books, by the way. Oh, there's Josh. Yeah, it was just insane what I paid. And then this, which Thor 133, first appearance of Eco the Living Planet. I took a look through this, other than tanned pages, and there's a little tear on the spine here with a chunk missing. There's like nothing wrong with this book. I couldn't believe that nobody else bid on it. But I'm not going to tell you what I paid because you'll probably just get pissed off at me. All right. So where was I going next? Oh, yeah. So I got to announce what we made for... Oh, where did it go? I got to announce what we made for the months of September and October because I didn't actually announce We earned $89.55 for Happily Ever Esther Farm Sanctuary. It would have been more, but I kind of forgot about the whole eBay taking their share and also charging me after 50 listings. Each listing I have to pay for too. So instead of donating those listing and final value fees to the charity, I decided to take them back from the final sales. It's one thing to buy a bunch of comics and sell them and hope that it's like a 1-to-1 ratio with the person who actually buys them, because I don't donate enough to charity, and that's my way of doing that. But I'm not going to give money to a major corporation and consider that to be a charitable thing. Anyway, this one's mega though. $135.60 to the Royal Canadian Legion. So that auction just ended last night, and I just came up with that total today. But again, like, that's kind of devastating because it was originally like 160 something. But then after all those fees and everything, it's just crazy. Sorry, just got to look back through the chat here and make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. So there's the announcements for the charities. I did the contest announcement thing. Now we will do the randomized choosing of next month's charity, or this month's charity, since it's November 1st already. Okay, so the options are, we've got Mark W. nominated The Inn, which is Oxford's homeless shelter. We got Josh R. Comics and Gaming, who's in the house with London Women's Shelter. I don't know if that's what it's called, but we'll figure that out if it draws. Take the Time Collectibles with Project Pinball. I've just chosen to make that his permanent choice. Farley's Nerd Cave with Gary Sinise Foundation. Metarog with Little Pink Houses of Hope. Pages, Films, and Plastics with All Animal Rescue Limited. Four-Way Flashes on Comics with CIBC Run for the Cure. Kate W. with The Gift of Baby Elena. Ruben Nieves with South Florida Multiple Sclerosis Charity. Comic Jabroni with Wounded Warrior Project, which would be perfect actually for the month of November, November 11th. Anyway, Mr. Miracle Comics with Calgary Wildlife Rehabilitation Society, Comic Collector with Hand of Hope, and R. Wheatley 0206 with Shriners Hospital for Children, which I missed last month, but no biggie, you're in there now. Okay, so I'm just going to click this once, and then we'll know what the charity of the month is for November. And we've got Hand of Hope, which, again, I'm pretty sure that's good news, but I thought it was good news with the Royal Canadian Legion, and it was not. They didn't have an eBay charity listing. So let's hope Hand of Hope does, and then I can, not pay them 10% of the final value and also the listing fees. It'll all go to that charity. And I don't know if I mentioned in a previous video or not, I've decided not to actually contact the charities because they have to go through so many hoops in order to make it happen with the with getting themselves listed under eBay. And there's how you find me, by the way, on the eBay auctions. Sorry about my throat. I'm not sick or anything. I'm just dehydrated or something. And yeah, you're right, Gray Man. Fees do suck. And that's why I originally went with the eBid store. But frankly, like everybody says, they'd never heard of ebid.net. And the reason I went with them was because you pay one fee once. And here's the store, by the way, underneath there. You can find a whole bunch more stuff in that store because you can list as much as you want. And you just have to pay $50 up front. Their final value fee is something crazy like 2%, and then PayPal takes another 2%. So really 4% compared to, it's around 10 for eBay. Actually, come to think of it, it's less for eBid what they take. Because I remember doing the calculations of being like, it's basically nothing. So anyway, I guess I'm going to show off a little more of haul stuff. No, wait. I'm going to show off what's going up for auction as soon as this is done. I've already got it all prepped and ready to go. Just as soon as this live stream's over, I'm going to put it up on the eBay store. So because it's November, and November 11th is in November, I'm going to attempt to sell off as much of my war-based stuff as possible. And so I'm starting, as always, with the lesser stuff because eBay will automatically relist for free whatever doesn't sell, which is why you'll notice I still have horror items up in the eBay up for auction. But see how this goes anyway. Disregard like any kind of anomalies you might see with these because they're all described in each individual listing in the eBay store. So we got attack number 28. I apologize for the glare in advance if there is any. We got attack number 33. I love these Charlton covers. There's something so striking about them, especially with, well, attack number 38. You notice how a lot of the backgrounds are just a single color, which you would think is like cheaping out or whatever, but it actually makes it look, it brings out whatever the subject is a lot better than something that has a whole bunch of detail in the background that can distract you. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, Beetle Bailey, number 1. I know that shouldn't really count as war, but there's that. And it says complimentary copy on it. So this was released in 1970. It's a reprint from Beetle Bailey number 1, which was 1969. But yeah, these two are both immaculate. And this is number 73, which was also released in 1970. Don't ask me how that works. A reprint from 1969, released in 1970. And then this one, which is 72 issues later, also released in 1970. Something doesn't add up. I think it's probably like the newspaper. I should have really looked at that. Never mind. All right. Fighting Army, number 115. Fighting Army, number 137. Number 149. Number 151. Hey, Life with Two YouTubers. Thanks for stopping by. This is what I mean about how the background being just one cover brings out so much of the upfront cover or color. So it was 156, 159, 160, 161, Fighting Marines, 153. Yeah, Gray Man. Let me see here. I wonder if maybe. So, did you put the underscore in there for the for your search? If you just put like where you would normally put your search for whatever kind of product, and you just put comics underscore altruism, it should come up with a search user, and then you would just click on that. You'd see my my little brand, my logo there too. And no, actually, there's something amazing about being Canadian is that because the UK and Canada kept their bonds together a lot longer than the US and the UK, you know, that whole revolution thing. We actually have an amazing deal between the UK and Canada for shipping. I'm not sure if the same is reciprocal, but I know that shipping from Canada to the UK is pretty reasonable, just like it is to the US. But then the opposite is not true. So US to Canada is kind of crazy expensive, but shipping from Canada to the US can be cheaper than shipping within Canada. I probably said that like 1,000 times. So we got Fighting Marines number 159. We got Garrison's Guerrillas number 4. We got Iron Corporal number 23. And then these ones are in surprisingly good shape, and I kind of don't want to let them go, but they are worth a pretty penny, actually. So we got Jungle War Stories. Can't remember the number, but there were only 11 issues of this that lasted over 4 years, I think. So they released them very intermittently. So there's that. And then a second Jungle War Stories. Nearly positive that's issue number 9. Nice. I'm just reading Genome's little comment there. Speaking of tea, has anybody seen the movie Dunkirk? I should have been asleep last night at like 1 a.m., but instead I chose to click play on Dunkirk because I love Christopher Nolan and everything else he's done. It's a fantastic movie. Like, holy crap. And yeah, tea wasters. And yes, they are cool books, Fish and Freaks. Thank you for noticing. Charlton is a very acquired taste. The actual content within the books is kind of cool, but not cool enough where I would actually go cover to cover on every single book. Not to say that you shouldn't buy them and do exactly what I was just talking about. Oh, you have not watched Dunkirk. It's an absolute must. And being from the UK, you're probably a huge Christopher Nolan fan, right, Greyman? I would think. Who's FFC? And hello, Pages, Films, and Plastics. I did not even notice you were in the chat there. I feel like I need to start coming up with, it's giving you nothing. Okay, well, let me look into that, Gray Man, about the whole not being found. I wonder if that helps to explain why some of the stuff that I thought was going to get a lot more bids did not get a lot more bids, but I do have a couple items every auction that ship to the US. So clearly I'm visible to American buyers. But yeah, I haven't had anybody overseas, but I was just assuming that's because I'm in North America and there's no reach, you know. And YouTube, I've only got 250 subscribers. Instagram, I've got like 300 something followers. I don't really know. Yes, and also congrats, Gray Man, on your winning. You should probably spend it in my store. So I don't know. What do we want to do now? I don't want to ruin your conversation here in the comments section. I've never had this many people in the chat. I guess I can keep showing some stuff off, right? I've got a stack of books, eBay purchases from a dude in North Bay. Chat amongst yourselves. I'm just going to show these off and treat it like a haul video. Dude in North Bay who actually runs a shop, but I believe that he takes anything that he can't sell there physically, like in his physical brick and mortar store, and he sells it online on this. He's got like a very diverse catalog. So he'll go 1 week where all the books go for $15 or more, sometimes up to 50. And then other weeks where books only get one bid and the bidding always starts at $1, just like with me. And then I happen to be the only bidder, which is what happened with pretty much all of these. So it's also, these are acquired tastes too. We got Marvel Classics Comics number 4, and that's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I always liked these when I was growing up. I only had a couple of them, but it was like a way of taking in literature when I was too young to actually appreciate it. Marvel Classics Comics number 10, Red Badge of Courage. I am not familiar with whatever that book might be. Stephen Crane. I don't know. I'm supposed to be the literary type too. Anyway, number 12, Three Musketeers. Alexandria Dumbass. It's a Shawshank Redemption reference in case anybody didn't know. All right, Treasure Island, number 15. Number 16 is Ivanhoe. And then we got Master of Kung Fu. The Hands of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, number 125. Didn't get a chance to even flip through that one yet. It's a double size, so that's really cool. And we've got a bunch of these to help round out my collection of Moon Knight, because these are all personal collection items. These aren't going up in the store. Moon Knight number 8. If you didn't see my one haul video where I actually did a personal collection haul video in 2 parts, I got a bunch from this sale from an LCS here in town. There's number 9. So as it stands, I think I ended up having, I end up having 2 to 15. I'm missing number 1, and then just a smattering from then on. So there's number 11. You know, I love this program, what's it called? StreamYard. but I can't see how many people are in the chat, so I don't know if I should just give up. Number 18. Number 22. Number 23, love that cover. Number 29, love this cover even more. And I would take it out of the bag and board just to show you, but it's immaculate. It's like, I think if I submitted it, it would get a 9.8 if I would even, okay, 6 people in the chat. Thanks, Josh R. I'll probably just finish showing off this stack and then like call it quits. We got Moon Knight Special Edition, number 1. Say what, Gino? You're talking about William Sadler, right? The comment here says, the dude who said dumbass in Shawshank played the lead of Section 31 in D59 Sloan. You talking about the band Sloan? Because you know I'm Canadian. Anyway, Batman 429. Never thought I'd actually own that one. Unfortunately, I know I'm never going to own the whole Death of Robin, like that whole series, but whatever. We got Preacher, number 4. Gray Man, that's a tear in the space-time continuum. If you're talking about that loop, yeah, that's what that is. Don't worry. Amazing Spider-Man 305. And yes, we did get a snowstorm. It only hit a little bit here in London, which is often how that goes because we're in a bit of a valley, a bit of a dip. So we get pretty lucky, but then when we get hit so hard. So there was snow on my windshield this morning, but it was like that little tiny sort of dusting. And then this is one that my wife picked up because she's a nanny and she took the kids she nannies to Heroes Comics here in London on Batman Day. And I've had this obviously for a while because of that, but it just happens to be in that stack. She picked that up for me. Actually, that one of the kids that she takes care of picked that up for me because he knows I'm into comics. He's like, you should get this for John. So that's cool. Dazzler number 1. That's the one that I showed off for the contest. Is in slightly better condition than this one, but I couldn't turn it down with the price. Yeah, fake London. That's right. Or let's just call us different London or subservient London. All right. And then ROM Space Knight number 2, because I happen to pick up number 1, as you know. Now I'm confused because I could have sworn I picked up a second copy of ROM number 1 for my contest. So that might just end up showing up in an update because, as I just mentioned, the contest is going on for 5 weeks instead of 4. So I got lots of time to make an update as the entries start rolling in. Yeah, I think we're going to call it quits. I've been going for a little too long already here, I think. Yeah. Trashy London is actually quite true. Our downtown is looking much better, by the way. I'm sure you noticed that today, Josh. But yeah, it's certain parts of London are a bit of a mess. Although our neighborhood, which used to be a mess, is so peaceful now. I mean, except for that stabbing. You know what? Never mind. London, nice. Am I out of focus? Whatever, I'm ending this live stream anyway. So thanks everybody for stopping by. Just a quick summary of my contest. And yes, that's an excellent idea. Thank you, Gray Man. For some reason, I didn't think of doing that. I will be putting the actual like URL to my eBay store in my like description, my about section of the YouTube channel, so that'll make me easier to find in the future. Yeah, no, we so Gray Man, you're talking about a double murder. We apparently had last Friday night after like supper-ish, somebody went around just like stabbing people and trying to steal their cars, and I guess it took them a while to catch them. Kind of probably had a little break or something. All right, so summary of my contest. You gotta come up with a movie that you want to see. I mean, it's obviously not going to happen, but you have absolute control, infinite funds. You're able to traverse the space-time barrier. So if you want to get an actor as a younger person or as an older person for that matter, if you want like Al Pacino as a 95-year-old instead of whatever he is right now to be some kind of like invalid in your movie, you can do that too. So you have complete power over all the creative aspects of a movie: actors, writers, director, producers, score, director of photography if you want. Depends on how much you know about film and how invested you want to get in your made up movie. So come up with a movie, leave a link or even just a comment in the comment section of this video. And then, yeah, that's about it. You have to make a video because it's obviously way too long to make a comment entry or an Instagram entry. So that'll happen next contest though. What is GE? I don't know. Nice. Golden Girls as the Defenders, Josh R says. That's like basically your entry right there. All you got to do is, I'm assuming you're going to write and direct this masterpiece. I got to go back in the comment section just for a quick second, make sure that I'm not leaving anybody out. Genome, you want to go live, but unfortunately I am exhausted. Right, Genome. Well, I guess I could use like a, what do you call that? Like a little tutorial in how to share my screen. I'll probably just edit this down for the replay people, but yeah, if you, great empty. No, that can't be true. Genome, actually, you can just look in the comments section. No, you have like a very active audience, I've noticed, because sometimes I've gone into your chats and not actually said anything because then I know that I'm going to have to keep chatting. Sometimes I've only got a couple minutes to stop in, like Rod the Rican. I've only been able to stop in for a couple minutes every Sunday for the last little while. Yeah, I kind of feel like crap about that, but yeah, can I invite you into this? Let me know in the comments. I feel like I'm getting a delay on the comments probably. Let's try that. Yeah, if you can tell me how to invite you. I should have probably looked that up expecting this, but oh, there we go. Do I need to know your email to do this? Or if anybody else wants to join the chat too, just let me know because I've got the link copied, but I don't know what to do with it. Maybe I'm supposed to do this. Probably not though. Forgive the dead air, everybody. I'm just waiting on word of what I'm supposed to be doing here. Unless I should just call it quits and maybe we'll say next time. I think that's probably what we're going to have to do. Okay, everybody. Thank you for stopping by and enter my contest. Should be a blast. Don't ever put the link on the chat. Why is that, Fish and Freaks? I'm curious. Now I don't want to shut this down quite yet because I want to know. So let me know. Maybe I'll show off a few more things while we're waiting. Oh yeah, so this stuff is coming up a little later in the month. I think this is I'll probably have this processed by next week. So next Thursday's auction is gonna start, even though this one starts on Friday. Okay, so I gotta press every single one of these, but I've already done a couple. They're too far to reach right now, but they actually are in really good condition except for the waviness from water damage. The pages themselves weren't damaged. which tells me that it's probably like a dampness issue where they were originally stored, because they were not bagged and boarded. They were in a long box that was completely unprotected. Anyone can come on that you don't know and post porn. Oh, well, that's awesome. And then get me shut down. Who would want to post porn on my live chat, though? All right. Unknown Soldier, number 247. This will save me the effort of having to make another video next week to preview everything that's going up for auction. Number 252. Oh, it happened to Comics NYC. That's crazy. Well, I hope it was the good stuff, at least. Tell you, if I was the rapscallion type to do that kind of crap, I'd probably do Shizer porn just to really mess with people and discuss them. That's 263. Unless you're into that, I don't know. I'm not judging. I just don't understand. All right, 263. So Fishing Freaks, if anybody can join and put porn on there, does that mean that anybody can just invite themselves in as my split screen too? That's 264. 265. It's actually pretty impressive what these are worth in slightly higher condition. It's just unfortunate that because there was water damage, even if I press them out and make them look great, there's still going to be that mustiness that I probably don't have time to. Which comic did you have, Gray Man? I'm assuming you're talking about one of those 70s Unknown Soldier ones. All right, gotcha, Genome. That makes perfect sense. Okay, and then there's these. I don't think they'll fetch much. I'll probably put them up as sets, but there's Sergeant Rock number 7. These all came from the same box that I was just describing, but obviously these ones are a little better off. There's number 10. It was actually super cool. It was $100 for this box, and there's way more than what I'm showing here in that box. But I gave her my card so that she could see what her comics ended up earning for charity. And when I mentioned that, like when she was like, comics altruism, what do you mean? When I explained what I was doing, she took $20 off. She's like, well, here, take 20 of this back and consider it my contribution. Yeah, I understand that, Gray Man, concentrating on the superheroes instead of war comics, because, I mean, superhero comics kind of have that same sort of repetitive, regurgitated content too, but I find that the same is even more true, especially for 60s and 70s war comics, where it's just kind of like every single book is the same thing, which is what I was saying about those Charlton books earlier. I'm not going to go cover to cover on all of them, but then I can say the same thing about these two. So there's number 18, Sergeant Rock. So I don't know how I'm going to pair those up, but you'll see that next week. And there were a few Unknown Soldiers back there too that I didn't show off. Yeah, I only have a score of 9 on the eBay store. I do my best to give feedback to all of the buyers and tell them how awesome they are, because most of them, when the auction is over, they pay like right away. Or, you know, I try to get the invoices sent out that night for anybody but Josh R, because I know that Josh R, I can just physically take the books to him so he doesn't have to pay right away. Everybody else, I try to be as punctual as I can with the invoices, but they're always like right there paying. So except for one person who didn't pay at all, didn't respond to my messages, I'm not going to take it to eBay because it's just $1 book. And I was kind of hesitant about selling my Jughead number 1, or Jughead the Hunger number 1 anyway. Oh, nice. So you found the shop. That's good. I'm still going to end up leaving a link in the About section of the YouTube channel. But yeah, I've only got 9, and I'm not sure if that's, like, I figured that if I gave them awesome feedback, that then the same would be true in the opposite. Because I do the same thing as a buyer. I always leave feedback just to kind of get that number up for them. But whatever. I'm not going to also, like, pester people for their input either. Because sometimes it takes me a couple of days to get the invoices out, and then it sometimes takes a couple more days. It's not enough time in a day to send all that stuff out. Okay, I'm rambling on. That was fun. Okay, thanks everybody for stopping by. Enter my contest. Bye.